All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO Gym. And the QBO Gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real-life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new exercises for you to practice and complete, and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be working in the November cardio section. At the top here is a little animated video to give you a synopsis of what's going on in Craig's world that month. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive quiz to test your knowledge as it relates to the video up above. And then further down are all of the exercises within this section. So today we are going to practice paying the contractors. You will need to be in the same session of the sample company that you were in for the previous exercises. If you have not completed those yet, go ahead and click on the link on the top right corner of the screen. That'll take you to the first exercise, the second one, and then you come back to this one. They all build on each other, so you have to start with that first one. So our scenario today is now that the contractor's time has been recorded and the invoices have been sent. Let's see how to get them paid. So first we'll need to figure out how many hours they worked so that we know how much to pay them. If Craig were using QuickBooks Time, we would run a similar report here. Since he is not, and we use the single time activity and the weekly timesheet to record the hours, we'll need to run a report showing their time activities. QBO has provided this report, but we'll need to customize it slightly to suit our purposes. So let's see how this is done. First thing we need to do is go to the report center. So on the left-hand side, we're going to click on reports. Here I am in the sample company. This is the last page that I left off of from the previous exercise. On the left bar here is reports. Go ahead and click on that. And now we need to do a search. So in the find report by name box, we're going to type time and then select time activities by employee detail. Note that even though these are contractors and not employees, they will show up on this report. So let's go ahead and do that. Click into this box, start typing in time. Time activities by employee detail is the one that we want. So go ahead and click on that and a report will be run for you. Now, the resulting report shows the total time for each contractor, but we're going to be attaching this report to each contractor's bill, so we don't want them to see their billable rate, just the number of hours that they logged in the period. So we're going to click on Customize. Now, first, before we do all of that, I want you to take a look at your report on your screen. Right now, mine is only showing for Keith Jones. We are missing the one for Bob Smith. You will need to make adjustments up here on the top where the report dates are. I would suggest adding 1 day before it shows and then 1 day after so that you can see and then click on Run Report to see if they will show up here. As the sample company is constantly changing dates, this report is only shown for 1 week. So you may need to make some adjustments in there so that you can see it for this activity. And then also in real life, making sure that the report shows all of the times that you are going to be paying the contractor as, it may be a week's time or a 2-week period. So just make sure that when you are running the report that you do have a date range that is appropriate for your clients. So let's go ahead and customize the report as we continue with the exercise. Click on the white Customize button. And then we're going to make some adjustment to the columns. So click on Change Columns. That's the blue wording here. And now we want to remove rates, billable, and amount, and then click on Run Report. So click on rates, billable, amount. Those have all been removed, and then click on Run Report. So now that the report is just showing the information that we want it to. It's better than what we had, but we want to see just one employee at a time. So in a real life scenario, you may want to save this customization to use it again in the future without having to take the time to change it. We're not going to be doing it for this exercise, but to do that, you would just click on this green Save Customization, follow the prompts, and then save it there. So we're going to again click on customize. As a note here, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you're doing this exercise in the first week of the month, you may need to change the time activity date to cover the previous week's date to cover the date that you choose in the previous exercise. So basically what we're saying is that you may need to make adjustments to those dates. So in real life and then also in this exercise. So as long as you have all three showing right here, the three different customers that for Bob and then for Keith, then you are good to go. So let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to click on customize because again, we only want to see one employee at a time. Next to the rows columns, we're going to click on the down arrow and then collapse these options. So go ahead and collapse those. And now we are going to click on filter. So click on the arrow next to that so that we can open up those options. And now we need to check the box next to employee. You'll notice that employee option will move to the top of the list. So click on that. And as we mentioned, here it is moving up there. And now we want to select Bob Smith because we are going to just have this report showing his information. So on the down arrow, go ahead and select Bob Smith vendor and then run the report again. Here's the arrow. There is Bob. Click on his check mark and then go ahead and click on Run Report. And when you do, you will see only the one for Bob Smith. So we want to export this report so that we can attach it to the bill that we create later. So click on the download button and then select export to PDF and then follow the prompts to save this on your browser so that you can find it later. So click on this, looks like a little arrow jumping out of a paper, and then click on export to PDF. Go ahead and save as a PDF and it will download for you. You will need to find it later in the exercise, but just know that once you click that export to PDF and you save it, then it will download for you. So we did it for Bob Smith, so now we need to do the same exact thing for Keith Jones. Once again, click on the white customize button. And then for the employee, we're going to uncheck Bob Smith and then check Keith Jones. So click into the arrow, uncheck Bob, and then scroll down until you find Keith. There he is. Click on him. And then once again, click on the green Run Report button. You will see now you are only showing the ones for Keith Jones. So once again, we're going to export this report so that we can use it for the or attach it to the bill later. So click on the download button as we did before and then export to PDF. So click on that little arrow next to the little paper jumping out of, or the arrow jumping out of the paper. Click on export to PDF. When you get this preview, just go ahead and save as a PDF. And when you do, it will download for you. So now we are going to move on to actually paying the contractors. Now let's use our recurring bill to create the payments for our contractors. The reason we are using a bill rather than an expense is that with a bill, we can schedule the payment and with an expense, you cannot. So if you wanted to do this ahead of time and you wanted to have it scheduled to pay like on a Friday and you're doing this on a Wednesday, using a bill allows you to do that. So we're going to go back to the recurring transactions. So click on the gear icon and then select recurring transactions. Up here on the top right corner, that gear icon under list, select recurring transactions. And you will see the three that we have appear for you. We want the one for contractor installation. So click on the blue use next to that line. It's the bottom line here. Click on that. And now let's go ahead and have it filled out for Bob Smith. Currently, he is listed there, and this is because we used his name to set up the recurring bill. For now, again, we're just going to leave it that is, and then start with his bill. So we need to change the quantity to 5 because this is the number of hours that Bob had worked according to the report. So click into this quantity here and then change it to 5. When you hit the tab key over, you will see that the calculation has been adjusted. 5 hours times $25 an hour equals $125. And next we are going to add the attachment that we saved from the computer. So to do this, we're going to click on attachments and then you need to follow the prompts in your browser to locate and then upload the file for Bob Smith. Then we are going to save and close this. So let's go ahead and do that. If you scroll down, there is a box here. I know my picture is here, so you might not see the word attachment, but it is this box right here. Go ahead and click into that, and then you want to find the report for you. I know that mine is this one right here. It's that first one. As a note here, you may want to, in real life, want to adjust the name of the report so that it has like the contractor's name and then the date range that they're being paid or something to that effect, whatever works for you, rather than having it say time activities by employee detail. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one because I know that that is the correct one. Go ahead and click on open. And when you do that, it will have attached. You'll know that it has attached because when you highlight over the name of the file, it has a little line under the blue link. So now we are going to simply save and close this. Click on the arrow down here and then save and close. As a note here that in a real life scenario, you would click Save and Schedule Payment to use QBO's internal payment tool to pay the vendor. But because we cannot do that in the sample company, the bills for our vendors will show up later when we pay other bills. So for now, it's just a save and close. And now let's go ahead and do the same thing for Keith. In the contractor installation row, once again, we are going to click on Use. It's the last one here. And this time, because we are paying Keith Jones, we need to change the vendor field to have his name. So go ahead and click on the arrow next to vendor. You can scroll or type in his name. He's not too far down, so I'm going to scroll and click on Keith Jones there. And now let's go ahead and adjust this. He worked a total of 5 hours between the two different customers. So click in the quantity, type in 5. You're going to hit the tab key over. Once again, that is showing this has been adjusted in QBO. And now, once again, we are going to save the attachment the same way that we did before. So click on attachments down here at the bottom. It's this little last box here. Just click anywhere into it. And then when you do, you can select the file. You may need to go through your files to find the download. I know that it is this one. Highly recommend in real life that you would rename it. But I'm going to go ahead and click on that and then click on the open. And now it has downloaded for me. And once again, I'm going to save and close, but again, in real life, you would click on save and schedule payment to use the internal tool to pay him. So let's go ahead and click on the green save and close button. And now that bill has been saved. And now we are all finished with the contractors. We are going to turn our attention to that telephone bill that was set up incorrectly, but that will be in the next exercise. And there you go. That is how you would run reports and you would pay the contractors. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO Gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. Be sure to leave this session of the sample company open as you will need it for the next exercise in the cardio section where we deal with the phone bill. And I will see you in the next video.